Hi, my name is Justin Glover, and you are listening to episode number 111 of the Results 513 show. The show where high-performing entrepreneurs go to step into their power and take their life and business to new levels. Our next guest is an RN, a wife, and a mother of two wonderful children. In 2006, her 18-year-old son was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor. Over the course of the next 3 years, her family helped her son face the most difficult challenge of his life. Meditation was a tremendous help to her son as he fought and eventually lost his battle with cancer. It helped her to deal with the loss and to recognize that sometimes even the most difficult times reap the greatest spiritual growth. She's been meditating now for over 15 years, and she received her clinical training directly from the director and founder of the Center for Meditation Science. Ladies and gentlemen, turn your distractions down and your volume up. Take a few slow, deep breaths, because today we are talking with Peggy Gaines. By the way, if you have not done so yet, run over to results513.com/show. Download the free gift that we have put together for you. It's called the 15 Must-Have Tools to be Insanely Productive in Your Business. This gift will help you jumpstart your productivity almost instantly. It's perfect for high performers. You're going to love it, so go check it out. Finally, if you want a raw, behind-the-scenes look at this show, the Results 513 show, follow me on Snapchat. My username there is Justin Lee Glover. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we start every show, we take 18 seconds to have a quick gratitude dance party. So as the music plays, think of one thing you're grateful for right now. 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I am here with Peggy Gaines. Peggy, can you hear us? Tell us, how are you doing today?
Hi, Justin. It's nice to be here.
Awesome. So tell us, paint us the picture. Where are you at? Are you sitting down, standing up? What's around right now?
Okay, I'm sitting down at my computer, and I've had a morning that I've been teaching some meditation classes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. So is that a typical morning for you? Does that happen often?
Yes, it is. Usually my mornings start off with a private class. Occasionally, like yesterday, I had 2 Skype classes. They started first thing in the morning. I was working with someone who lives in a different time zone, and we started, it was 6 o'clock in the morning for her time zone, and that's the way she wanted to start her day, was with a meditation class. And then I did I followed with another Skype person, and then I went and had a live class with someone here in Miami.
Isn't technology awesome that allows you to do that and work with people all over the world?
Yes, it's very cool. So that was neat.
Awesome. So we're definitely going to talk a lot about meditation because that is your specialty, and that's the reason I wanted to bring you on. Let's start from the beginning. What is, when you hear the word meditation, what is meditation to you?
Meditation is finding that calm that's within us, within each one of us. We have so many demands on our time and our attention that we lose touch with that. And meditation is taking you back to that stillness, and it's refreshing and renewing.
Got it. Tell me the story of how you discovered. How did you come about and discover meditation?
Well, like so many people, it started off, I was having trouble sleeping. And I did not want to be one of the 4 million people in the United States that gets a prescription for sleep medication. So I got some tapes and a book, and I was trying to teach myself meditation. And I went to a class or two, and I began meditating about 20 minutes a day. And my sleep improved dramatically. I was able to sleep without any problem and wake up refreshed. And things were going great. I'm married. I have 2 kids, and everything, life was wonderful. Until one day we found out that our 17-year-old son had a malignant brain tumor. And that really took me back and kind of just stopped me in my tracks. So we had to refocus and really get the best care that we could for our son. So I turned to meditation to help me stay focused and help me to really be able to keep things in in focus and prioritize things. And I did meditation every place. I did it when we were flying to a different hospital. I did it when we were in exam rooms and treatment rooms, hospital waiting rooms. And I taught my son how to meditate. And he did it when he was going all through the treatment. And it really helped him deal with all the stress and all the side effects of chemotherapy. And it worked for about 3 years. And then it was time for my son to cross over. Meditation helped us to get through this, but now the brain tumor won. So as my son was on hospice, at this point, I really wanted to be there for him, and I wanted to make sure that I could answer any questions, because my focus at that point was to make sure that he was not afraid to die. So we were able to talk about everything. And meditation helped me to keep it together, and it helped him to stay calm and to die peacefully. And when it was over, I was able to look at the situation, and although I was very sad, I was not depressed. And I was able to look at it and say, instead of worrying and mourning about what we had lost, I was grateful for what we had been given. I was so grateful that our son had been part of our life for 20 years. And that I was so grateful I got to be his mother. And I realized that I have faith. It was the tool of meditation was really what helped me through all of this. And it allowed me, I thought, everybody needs to know how to do this. Everybody has something in their life that they'd rather not focus on, they'd rather not deal with. And I thought, I need to teach this to everybody. Everybody needs to know this. So I found a course where I could could learn more about meditation and become certified. And that's what I did. And so as a nurse, I know that there's so many things that you can choose when you are having trouble sleeping or when you have a stressful situation. And I chose meditation. It is something that anyone can do any place. And I think everyone should learn this tool because there's just so much to deal with in life. And this will help you.
Got it. So that's a pretty challenging situation to be in. I can imagine as a parent, having those type of conversations with your son. What was it? It's kind of hard to put in words. What was the relief like? That to me, that's kind of. That's worst case scenario. Where did the relief come from? Is it just in you don't think about it anymore when you meditate, so you go numb to it, or you open up to different possibilities? Like where did the relief really come from?
At the time, I wasn't really sure where it came from. But when I went through the certification course and I understood the science behind it, I learned that when you meditate, that your brain actually changes. There are all these changes in your brain, and one of them is in the amygdala. That's the part of the brain that handles stress. And they found that within less than 6 weeks of time that there's measurable change in the amygdala. Now, you still have stress, you still get upset, you can still lose your temper, but the way that you begin to look at things begins to change. And that's what I realized. That's what had happened with me. This situation of my son dying, I could look at it and say, this is the worst thing possible. But I chose to look at it from a different perspective. And meditation, because my brain had changed, because my amygdala had changed, it allowed me to do that. I was able to look at it and think, all right, this is an opportunity to learn something. I never could understand why it happened, but I thought I wanted to be someone to learn as much as I could from this. I felt this was something that not everyone encounters, and I wanted to make sure I learned as much as I could from that. And I am still learning. It's layers upon layers of things that you learn. And because your brain changes, you're able to look at the little things in life, and at that time, they may not seem like little things. It may seem like the straw that's breaking the camel's back. But then with meditation, you're able to look at it and say, okay, is this something to really get upset about? Or is it just an inconvenience? Can I just let this roll off my back and get through it? And that's what happens. And you'll find that happens not only with events in your life, but also people in your life. We all have that person in our life that pushes our buttons. And they push the buttons and we react. And it's like they just know what to do to get a reaction out of us. Well, after you've been meditating for a while, what you're going to find is that same person will push the button, but it's almost as though the electrical impulse has been severed. And instead of reacting, you see the situation and you respond. You think, how do I want to handle this situation? Instead of mindlessly, reacting, you take a moment and you assess it and you respond. And that makes all the difference in your life. Whether it's somebody cutting you off in traffic or just somebody trying to, get the better of you, you're able to look at it and say, is this really worth getting upset about? And just like that book says, don't sweat the small stuff. And it's mostly all small stuff.
Yeah. And it really is it's a discipline of your mind, almost like controlling your thoughts and understanding, okay, well, I have a choice on how I can react to the situation. And I think the practice of meditation really helps and assists that. There's obviously some other stuff that's going on as well. So is there a specific style or type of meditation that you specifically do?
The style of meditation that I teach is called focused awareness. And this is a mindful style of meditation. And it focuses on your breath. Because when we are in a stressful situation, without realizing it, we breathe very shallow. And so when we focus on our breath, we're able to slow our breathing down and breathe more fully. And that sets off a different physiological response in our body so that we're able to deal with the situation. We're able to be calm. And this type of breathing sends a message to your brain. It actually activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the system that says relax. And it's amazingly easy, but it does take discipline. It does take time. It does take some time. So it's something that you want to just incorporate into your life. You don't want it to be one more thing that you have to do, one more thing on your to-do list. You want it, and I help you in this class figure out how you can incorporate it easily into your life so it just becomes part of your daily routine.
Got it. Okay, so I want to talk about that here in just a second, but we have a lot of high performers that listen to the show, busy people that are getting things done and achieving higher than average or higher than typical results in their life in all areas. So how does, the concept of meditation is not foreign to a lot of our listeners, but what's the main benefit? Somebody that maybe hasn't started yet or doesn't know where to start, but they've heard and they know, and maybe they're not doing it as much, or it's not working for them or whatever. What's the main benefit in the style of meditation that you do for someone like that, a high performer?
For the high performer, this is something that you need to include in your daily life because your competition is already doing it. When you meditate, this is exercise for your brain. And just like you exercise your body, anything that you use your brain for is improved with meditation. So your focus and concentration is improved. Your memory, both short-term and long-term, is improved. Your cognitive function, your creativity is heightened. All of these things are affected by meditation, and it's been proven scientifically. This isn't just a nice idea. There is research that shows that this works. And more CEOs are doing this on a daily basis because they know it gives them the edge over their competition. If you are coming and you are up against someone, if you're an attorney, or you're in sales or whatever it is, if you are scattered and you're frazzled because you've got so many things going on, and you come up against someone who is calm, focused, and on target, who's going to come up on top?
Exactly.
And this is what you get with meditation.
Got it. So that's definitely speaking our language. That's what we want. So I want to talk about how to actually do this. And you've got a class, you've got a course that walks people through this entire process. And essentially what I'd like to do, you've got, a 5 or 6 step process that you take all of your clients through whenever you're working with them. So I'd like to maybe see if I can extract that from you and teach the short version of that here, so that if somebody is, if they're sold on it, they just heard what you just said, and they're like, okay, that's you hit the nail on the head, I'm in, I want to do this. Or if they want to just take it to, take their practice to new heights. What's the first step? Where do we start? What's step 1 in your process?
Well, the first step is really being aware of your breath. And so that is really it. And when you are breathing, when we're stressed, we tend to breathe with just the top part of our lungs, and we don't even realize it, but our breathing becomes shallow when we are stressed. And we live in the stress state. We're always on alert. We're always thinking, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I can't forget this, I've got to make that phone call, I've got to do that email, I've got to return this, and I've got to pick that up on the way home from work. That's the way we live. But as a result, so we're in this fight and flight response. And everybody's probably heard of the fight and flight response before. And you're supposed to go into that when you really are in a stressful situation, when you really are threatened. But the problem is that's the way we live on a daily basis. So when you're in that mindset, that way of thinking, your body is reacting. And it's the way that it's surviving is that you're breathing more shallow, your heart rate is faster, and your blood pressure is up. So if you take your awareness to your breath, so if we're going to do it right now, what I would tell people is to sit so that they're sitting up straight, so that their head, their neck, and their spine are in alignment. Just let their shoulders relax, and their feet should be flat on the floor. And then I tell them, take your awareness to your breath. And as you breathe in just a little bit deeper than you normally breathe. And feel your ribs expand. And as you exhale, feel your ribs contract. And just breathe in again and feel your ribs expand. And as you exhale, feel your ribs contract. Now take your awareness to the tip of your nose. And as you're breathing in, notice the cool air as you breathe in. And your ribs expand. Notice how the air is warm as you exhale and your ribs contract. And then just think to yourself, I'm breathing in and your ribs expand. And I'm breathing out and your ribs contract. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. Cool air in and warm air out. I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. Cool air in and warm air out. Now, with your eyes still closed, notice how you feel. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. That was 1 minute of meditation. Now, if we had taken your pulse, we would have found that your pulse would have slowed down while you were doing that. Your blood pressure would have come down. And if you feel a difference after 1 minute of meditation, think what an impact it's going to have on your health when you make this part of your daily routine. There is lifelong value in this. This is something that you can take with you, and it's going to help you be healthier and happier and get more enjoyment and productivity out of life. So it really is something that if you just give it a little bit of time every day, it is a game changer.
Got it. That is awesome. I know I felt an immediate difference in feeling whenever you walked through that, so thank you for that. Mm-hmm. So step 1 is to bring your awareness to your breath, and mm-hmm. What's the next step?
Okay, after you've learned how to do this breathing, and you're going to find that you're going to have distractions, that even when you're thinking about breathing, you're going to have thoughts coming in, trying to remind you, I need to do this. You should, in fact, you're going to have this little voice in your head that's going to be saying, what are you doing? You have X, Y, and Z to do. You don't have time to sit there with your eyes closed breathing. That's not going to help. And when that happens, you've got to learn how to handle those distractions. So I give you some ideas and some tools and some techniques to help you keep all those distractions under control. The number one thing that people say when they come to class is that I can't meditate. I have too many thoughts. There's no way I can stop thinking. And when we meditate, we're not trying to stop your thoughts. We're helping to focus your thoughts. And so I'm going to help you handle those distractions. And you're going to find that with meditation, your focus and concentration improves. And they've found that scientifically. They've compared people who don't meditate with people who do meditate. And they have found that when distracted, the people who meditate are able to refocus faster than those people who don't meditate. So the second step is we're going to learn how to handle distractions.
Got it. Okay, so initially, and this is in your program, you're teaching people, essentially the first step is how to breathe, like, and bring an awareness to, we learn that we're doing it wrong, and you teach them how to do it the correct way, and all the stuff that goes with that, and then how to deal with the distractions. So once they've got that down, and they can show up, and they've got the practice down of breathing, and they know how to deal with the distractions in their head, when that happens, what's the next step in your process?
Well, I'm going to help them establish a routine. So, you're going to want to figure out how, where are you going to do it? Where can you sit so that you are sitting so your head, neck, and spine are aligned? You don't want to do this in bed, because when you are have your eyes closed and you're breathing nice and relaxed, your brain's going to think it's time to go to sleep. So I'm going to talk about how you're going to establish this as part of your day, where you're going to sit, how you're going to fit it into your routine, so that it doesn't seem to be just one more thing that you have all the good intentions, but that you never get around to doing. This is just going to be something like brushing your teeth. It's going to become something that, of course, you do. You wouldn't think about going through the day without brushing your teeth. And it will just as seamlessly fit into your day as that. We're going to talk about other things. We're going to talk about how do you find that inner stillness. You're doing this breathing, but where is the peace of mind? So we're going to talk about finding that inner peace, and how does that happen? And how do you know when it's happening? And
how do you know?
You're going to know. You're going to know. It's at different levels. You're going to be able to be aware of different things. And in the beginning, other people may notice it before you do. Other people may notice that you aren't losing your cool as much, that you are just a little bit more relaxed. They may notice it before you actually notice it. I always tell people, this is not a light switch. You don't start meditating and then you turn on the light switch and suddenly you're the Buddha. You're cool, calm, and collect. It's more like a dimmer switch, where gradually over time you notice that the things that used to really irritate you aren't irritating you as much. And then you will look back over a period of time and say, when that used to happen, when I used to talk to that person, she used to really get under my skin. That guy used to really get on my nerves. And now they don't seem to bother me at all. It's going to be more of a gradual change. But then there will be other things that you will notice as you continue to go through this practice, where you will be kind of aware of just this stillness, this peace, and it feels so calming. And you'll just enjoy being at this place. It's almost, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I said, can you think back when you were a kid and you were just sitting by yourself out in the backyard in the grass, and you were just in a summer day and it was just so peaceful, or maybe you were on a swing and it was just so peaceful and quiet and calm. And we don't have that now. We never have that. There's always somebody texting us or emailing us or calling us, demanding our time and attention. And meditation gives you that peace, that stillness that we've lost. We've lost that connection with our true self. And this helps you get it back.
Awesome. So we've learned how to bring awareness to the breath, and that being the first step, and then handling distractions. We got to get control of our mind and not eliminate the thoughts, but focus them. Mm-hmm. And then the next step is establishing a routine, finding out the when and the where and the how often and how long and all of that.
Exactly.
Once we've got that part down, What's the next step?
That's a big part of it. And what you are establishing at this point is you're paying attention to your breath. You're paying attention to your thoughts. You're focusing your thoughts. All of that paying attention is mindfulness. That's what mindfulness is. It means be present. Pay attention to what's going on right now. So when you're meditating right now, you're paying attention to the way you're breathing. You're paying attention to what you're focusing your awareness on, your thoughts. Now you want to take that skill and you want to take it out into the world. That mindfulness you want to take out into your job. So it means that you can pay attention to the details, that you recognize what's going on, that things are more under control. But that mindfulness you also take out into your life. Because, we are always giving. People need things from us. We are always giving out, and we need to replenish. And we don't, because we are working so much, it's as though we're on this spinning merry-go-round that's going faster and faster. And because it's going so fast, we're letting go of all the things that nourish us and nurture us. And so we let go of reading a book for pleasure. We let go of getting together with friends because we don't have time. Well, with meditation, you're able to stop that spinning. You're able to slow down and get control so that you're able to find pleasure in the little things in life. You're able to stop and notice what's going on in your surroundings. You're able to look out the window and find pleasure in just noticing that the sun is shining. When you walk to your car, you are mindful of the fact that the breeze is blowing against your cheeks and how refreshing it feels. You're mindful of the fact that the sun is shining through the trees and the branches are making these shadows on the walkway. And when you stop and notice those little things in life, you begin to appreciate. First you notice them, and then you appreciate them. And then as you appreciate them, you begin to be grateful for them. And so as you are noticing these things, it's as though you're giving yourself a little gift, a little bit of nourishment, a little bit of nurturing, and you're replenishing that bucket within you that is empty because you have given everything. So these little things in life nourish your soul. You cannot wait to recharge yourself on your vacation. Your vacation comes once a year. You can't even wait for the weekend. On the weekend, you still have demands on your time. You only have so much time that you really can relax and recharge. You need to get that feeling of gratitude that's recharging you in the little things in life that happen every day. And that comes with being mindful. So we talk about how to practice that in your daily life. And we talk about how that changes your perception and your perspective on what's happening in life.
I love that. As a high performer, one of the, just a quick story here, mindfulness for me has been like one of the magic buttons for me. Like if I want to have a good day, I know exactly how to do it. Or if I'm having a crappy day, I know exactly how I can turn it around if I so choose. Like if I really want to and don't want to just sit and wallow in it, and I want to have a great day, I know exactly how to do it. And it's so simple. And for me, it always goes back to just mindfulness. And I take my phone and I have a timer set for every 30 minutes like every half hour on the half hour, I have an alarm. And every time it goes off, I quickly stop, and so I do three things: stop, look, go. And it's that simple idea of mindfulness. Stop. What is it that you're doing? Look around. And then just like you said, whenever you take that split second, like it doesn't take any time, but by doing so, that brings in appreciation, that brings in gratitude, and that for me, it fuels happiness, and it makes me happier. And so then I'm walking with a little bit more power in my step, and the creative thing that I'm working on comes out a little bit better, and I'm just like, it's just every 30 minutes just charging me more and more and more. And so that's sort of one of like a little secret bullet for me. I love it.
That's you are on target. That is absolutely the truth, and that is it. Just stop, look, and go. You don't have to sit down. You don't have to, stop whatever you're doing. You're just momentarily giving yourself a break, just a second or two to notice, to be present. And when you do, it's a gift to yourself, and like you said, it just it's a real pick-me-up.
Yeah, absolutely. So that one's definitely a good one. Okay, so we've talked about bringing awareness to the breath, and then handling distractions, getting the routine in place, and then from there you teach this daily mindfulness practice. What's after that? Is that the last part in your process, or do you take it further?
Just a few tips on helping to improve your focus. When you recognize that there are things, things that can be distractions, such as when you sit down to meditate. You probably do not live in an ashram. You probably live in a very busy place, and there are probably are people watching television in the other room. There's probably dogs barking and leaf blowers. And so we talk about how those things can actually help improve your focus. And so we talk about how to incorporate the things that we might begin to think, well, I can't meditate here because it's too noisy. But actually, you can take all those distractions, and it can help improve your focus and help you with your meditation, so that, again, you can meditate any place at any time. You will be able to meditate in the middle of a busy basketball arena if you need to.
I like that. So it's basically just sort of reframing your, the way that you I guess, respond to the distractions that are around. So very cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you walk through and you've got, is there any, like maybe one tip on that? Another tip, like let's say that you are in a basketball arena and you want to meditate. Like how is that possible?
Well, it's possible because as we go through, I didn't go into all the things that we're going to talk about in the beginning, in the basics, but what I teach is how you create in your mind this space around you. It's just by using your mind. It's as though you create this capsule of light just around you. And so in this space, it's peaceful and calm. Right next to you can be a 3-year-old kid screaming, but right here, it's calm. And so we talk about how to establish that and how to be able to block those things out, know that those things are there. It's not that you don't hear the screaming kid. You aren't aware that there are all these basketball people in the arena, but you can do it any place, anytime. I meditate. You want to be able to do that, because when you are most stressed, you want to be able to do it right then, such as if you're in an emergency room. You might not have your earphones, or your iPhone might not be charged, and you think, oh, I'm so worried, I'm so stressed about this, I wish I could meditate, but I don't have all the stuff that I need. But with the practice that I teach, you're able to do it on your own right there, by in your mind finding this quiet space, and by learning how to focus your attention so that you can handle anything. You can handle anything, and you can do it any place.
Yeah, and that's really powerful too. Like I know for me, it's an empowering feeling whenever when there's chaos around, and you know that, okay, I'm in control here of the way that I respond, and you're completely peaceful inside, and there's chaos all around. Like that for me, that's kind of like one of those entrepreneurial, like, yeah, like I got control over this kind of things, right? It's very empowering. So.
Yeah, that's the truth. I tell people, look, if, in Florida, we deal with hurricanes. And so, you want to be able to be in a situation where if your entire house was destroyed by a hurricane, you could sit down in the midst of that chaos and find stillness, find inner peace. And then after you've meditated, you open your eyes and you bring a feeling of calm and control to the situation, because you can say, okay, I wish it wasn't this way. This is the way that it is. Therefore, we can deal with this. And all the people who are around you, they pick up on your energy, because they have confidence in you, because you are calm. So when you're in business and you go in and something falls apart, instead of losing it and, losing your cool and screaming and yelling, you are much more powerful if you say, okay, if you are able to find that stillness within and say, okay, it's unfortunate it happened this way, but we can deal with it. And what happens, you raise the energy of everybody around you. Everyone believes in themselves and believes that, yes, they can do it, because they pick up your confidence through the energy that you're bringing, the inner strength that you're bringing to the table. They pick up on that and they believe in you, and that makes everybody work better.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Peggy, this has been really, really great and informative. Obviously, we could talk about this for a lot longer. We just briefly went through your process, and hopefully, it's been incredibly valuable and insightful for me. But if somebody is listening and they want to learn more about Peggy, want to, go deeper into this process, or have you teach them meditation, or how to take their meditation to the next level, how do they get a hold of you? Where are you at? Where do you hang out online? And
well, my website is meditationwithpeggygaines.com. So that's GAINES, and I'm on Facebook under the same name. And I just, on that website, there's a link there that you can click that will let me know that you're interested in learning some more about the classes that I offer, because as I said, I offer classes in person and online. I also do Skype classes. So we can, have a phone call and see if this type of practice is right for you. But if you think this is something that you need to do, not that you should do, but that you must do, this is a class for you.
So you're working with people that have made the decision that says, you know what, this is something that it's time to do. And if that is you, definitely go and check out. We're going to have all the links to contact Peggy and get a hold of her and check out her website. And she's got a couple of free classes and some things that she does and all this great stuff. So we'll include that on the show notes page. Anything else, any final advice that you would like to give somebody that may be on this journey before we sign off?
Breathe. Just remember to breathe and find the little things in life and notice them. Just stop, notice, and go. And that will really help you see the better things in life and bring you more pleasure.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. I feel like this is something that everybody can use. And I am going to be doing a webinar soon. And there is there is a special recording that you can get for free. So it will really help you to relax, and you can listen to it and see if it's something that you would be interested in pursuing further.
Absolutely. And I've seen some of these recordings you're talking about, and they're awesome. So definitely go check that out. We'll have the links to check all of that stuff out on the show notes page for this episode. So Peggy, thank you so much for your time and the expertise that you've brought to us today. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Well, thanks a lot, Justin. It's been great being here.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I'd like to give a special shout-out and thanks again to Peggy Gaines from coming on the show and giving such amazing value. If you got value from today's episode, we would love it if you would share it with someone else who you think will enjoy it also. And be sure and subscribe on iTunes by going to results513.com/iTunes, or if Stitcher's more your thing, you can subscribe there, results513.com/Stitcher. If you would like to get the full experience of today's episode, the notes, the links, the videos, everything, head on over to results513.com/111. Also, if you have not done so yet, do yourself a favor, run over to results513.com/show. Download the free gift we put together for you. It's called the 15 Must-Have Tools to be Productive in Your Business. If you're a high performer, this is perfect for you. You're going to love it. So go download it, read it, apply it, and start winning. We'll talk to you in the next episode.